put that right here. I hope so. All right, I'm going to write something up on the board that I want you guys to take a look at. And I want you to tell me what you think. Where's my paper? Here we go. I'm just going to write it right here in the middle so you'll be able to see. I'm going to write kind of an equation. I'm going to ask you guys what you think about it, okay? Take a look at that for a second. Hopefully everyone can see it. And just put a thumbs up on your desk when you have a thought about this. You have something you know about it, you agree with it, you just want to say you agree, you want to say you disagree, or how you know that's a true statement. So I have this statement. What are your thoughts on that? Just have your thumb out on your desk and I'll just point to you and you can just share whatever you're thinking about it. Okay, right here. Can you talk really, really loud because I want to make sure.
I know it's an equivalent fraction.
You know. Love that. Can someone repeat what he just said? Because that was really important. I loved that. Right here.
He said he knows that that's equivalent. That is an equivalent fraction.
Is that what you said? Can someone else repeat what he just said? Because that was another really important point right here.
He said they're both equivalent fractions.
They're both equivalent fractions. That's true. They're equivalent to one another. How do you know? Put your thumb on your desk if you know why these two are equivalent. Ooh, I see a few listening. Okay. What are you thinking right here? Stand and come in the room. I want to make sure your friends are listening to you, and you hold them accountable too. Tell them, not me.
I know that it's one four because 4 and another 4 will equal a whole, and if you put another one, it'll equal 1/4, so it's going to be 1 and 1/4.
Ooh, can someone kind of restate what he was saying? He said a lot of good information. Can someone kind of summarize what he was saying there? Right here in the blue.
Well, 5/4 is an improper fraction, which means it's greater than 1 whole. So 4/4 would be 1 whole, and then there's 1 more.
I have to come give you a high five because you, Miss Fortner, you did not tell me how amazing. I mean, you told me they were amazing, but you didn't tell me they were this amazing. I'm truly impressed. Can someone repeat what she just said? Because she wrapped that up so nicely with a pretty little bow on top. Say it in the room. Tell your friends.
Renee said that a fraction is an improper fraction, which means it's more than 1 whole. So once 4 out of 4 is 1 whole, and you have 1 more, it's 1 over 4.
So you're saying, you guys are saying, and tell me if I'm hearing you correctly, you're saying these are equivalent because you know that 4/4 is the same as 1 whole, right? You guys, thumbs up if you agree with that. Okay? 4/4 is 1 whole, and since we have 5/4, that means we have 1 extra, right? Which is the same as saying we have 1 whole and then another 4th. Yes, right.
And 5/4 is an improper fraction.
And 5, thank you for bringing that point up again. 5/4 is an improper fraction. So what's this one called? Oh, and remember, you can raise your hand this time. What's this type of, no, we said they're equivalent, so this is an improper fraction. So what's this one called again? I know you guys just talked about this because Miss Porter was telling me about it right here.
Mixed number.
A mixed number, you're exactly right. Okay, so I'm going to show you, once again, you guys already told me about it, but really quickly, I'm going to show you why that's the case. So I have here, you guys see that in the back?
Yep.
Right here? Okay. I have here, this is my 1 whole. And we said here we have 1 and 1/4. Here's my 1/4. So I have this brown piece here and then this red piece. 1 and then that's a 4th piece. I need to check that because you guys told me it's equivalent, but I just want to know for sure. Was anyone wondering if that was really true or not at first? Anyone? Okay. So this is why we want to check that. We can use these Cuisinart rods, and you guys actually have them in your room now. They're over here. But they will be kept in the back of the room when you guys ever want to check your fractions to be sure. I want to know, so we said this 1 whole should be how many 4ths is in this 1 whole, everybody? How many 1/4? 4. There should be 4. 1/4 here, another 4, 3/4, 4/4. Is that the same as our 1/2?
Yes.
It sure is. So we said 4/4 is 1/2. That's true. But then we have this extra one here. So if we line it up, so we have, let's count how many fourths we have here at the bottom. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4, 5/4. And that is the same as our 1/2 and 1/4. You're exactly right. So those of you that were like, I'm not sure. Are you guys sure now?
Yes.
That they're equivalent? Perfect. Okay. So we're going to move that out of the way. And we're going to look at the, you guys have your math journals. Perfect. You have this page in front of you. Can you open that up to today's page for me? And it should be page, I don't know if it says the page, but it says 2.1. It says reviewing common fractions and mixed numbers, number line model. It shows that at the top. Can you get to that place, please? Okay. So at the top of the page, it should look like this. You guys see that? Same thing? Give me a thumbs up if you do. Oh, I'm waiting on a few more. Anyone not there? Perfect. We're all there. Awesome. Okay, you guys are going to follow along, and we're going to talk about some things together as we do this. Okay, so you guys see this, and it says at the top, on each number line, the distance from 0 to 1. Put your finger, one finger on 0, one finger on 1, on that number line. The distance from 0 to 1 represents 1 mile. So we're talking distance here. Okay? And number lines are great to use to represent distance traveled. Okay? And it says these students each mark the distance they live from school on these number lines below. Okay? What do you notice? What's the same about all three of these number lines? What do they all have in common? What's the same? Right here in the pink jacket.
That they are split, like in the middle there's one, so they're split into two.
Okay, so they're split into, they go from 0 to 1 and then from 1 to 2. Is that what you were saying?
Yes.
Okay, so do you guys agree with that? Yes? Perfect. Okay, so we see all three of these number lines. In all, they represent the same amount. But there's something that's different about all three. What do you guys notice that's different? And I'm actually going to use the board to write this because what's different about the three of these number lines? Guys, I need some participation. I'm seeing the same, like 5 hands. What about you guys back here? Just because it's a little dark back here doesn't mean you don't have to participate. Get your hand. All right, right here. Can someone repeat what she just said? Because that was a good point. That was such a good point right here.
What Daisy said is, she said, all three of them are getting smaller, lines, so there's going to be more fractions in the number line.
Hey, so Daisy, is that what you were kind of saying? Yeah? Okay. I just want to make sure. If it's not, you can let me know. We can try that again. Is that what you were saying? Yeah? Okay, good. So Daisy was saying that she noticed that between each number line, there are fewer spaces. So there are more of these lines and then more of these little increments here. Do you know what we actually call these little spaces? Anyone know the actual name for that? I'm just going to tell you. You know what we call it? An interval. So what we're going to do on your paper, and I'm going to do it on the board so you can see exactly what we want to have here. We're just literally going to, from this little space to this first, from 0 to this first little mark, we're going to draw a little arrow. This is called an interval. Intervals are what we use to like skip count by, whether it's on a graph or a number line. We count by those intervals. So that's one space represents an interval. And how many intervals do we have until we get to this one hole? Just on this first number line. Just hold it up with your fingers. How many? You might need one or two hands. How many spaces? I'm not seeing it from everyone. I see it from about half of us. You can count on your paper too if you need it. How many intervals do we have from 0 to 1? I see lots of people holding up the number 6. You guys agree?
Yes.
Okay, so there are 6 intervals. So what is this fraction, what is this number line actually counting by? So then what is it actually counting by until we get to the one hole? One hole. What is it actually counting by? Right here. It's counting by 6. You're exactly, is that what you said? 6, like 1 6. You're exactly right. Each one of these intervals, and we're actually going to draw another arrow here. We can also call that interval in fraction terms by a unit fraction. So each one of these is representing 1 6. So as soon as I hit this, when I've gone this first interval, this first unit fraction, that's 1 6. Write that on your number line, please. So that first little line, that's 1 6. So what's the next one? I've traveled now to this one. How many 6s is that, everybody?
2 6.
2 6. So this next one should be
3 6.
okay, go ahead and finish labeling that.
5 6.
So what could we also call the 1?
6 6.
6 6. Keep going. I want you to label the rest of it. So if that's 6 6, what's this next one?
1 and 1 6.
Oh, I hear 2 different things.
1 and 1 6.
It could be 1 and 1 6, or it could be, you said it, I heard you say it. It could be 1 and 1 6, or if we're just counting by 6,
7 6.
or, I heard several people say it,
7 6.
it could be 7 6, or 1 and 1 6. Go ahead and continue labeling the rest of that. Okay. I'm going to label that too also. What would that be? What else could we name it as? I'll go ahead and label it there too. Awesome. You guys are rocking this. Oh my goodness. So what did we get to when we got to the 2 holes? What else could we name that? With your hands. What else could we name that one? Right there in the very back, because I saw you do it. 12 6. You're exactly right. So we could call it 2 holes, or we could call it 12 6. It's the same thing. We know that improper fractions have an equivalent fraction that's called a mixed number. Okay. So what we're going to do, let's look at some of these people. Damon, Gavin, and Carmen. So which one of these people has gone the furthest? Everybody. Carmen went the furthest. And how far did she go?
11 6.
11 6, or
1 and 5. 1 and
let's back up. You're reading.
1 and 6.
1 and 5 6. Everything we do will be in 6 because we said that was our interval. So everything on this number line will be in 6. We could call it either 11 6, or we could call it 1 and 5 6. Both are correct because they're equivalent. They mean this exact same thing. Okay? So I want you guys to look at these next 2 number lines, and I want you to figure out what is the interval. What is the unit fraction for each of those, and I want you to write it. Just label that very first line. So I want you to label this one and this one. Figure out